Yeah, that's right. I bet you didn't think we'd be talking about this card of all things today. Make sure you guys smash the little crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. So, this has not been something that has happened overnight that you might think is like, why suddenly are we talking about Protector of the Sanctuary, Robbie? No, this is something that I've been observing since, I believe, probably Sunday night. I believe, because I like to watch the OCG side of the market, and it's interesting to me that when suddenly a card like Protector of the Sanctuary is being bought by stores for 1,000 yen, you kind of look around and go, huh, why in the world is that? And the next play event that actually happened this morning put everything into perspective for me out here as to what in the world is happening with Protector of the Sanctuary. So for those of you that have forgotten, Protector of the Sanctuary has one of the best and funniest effects in the game. It literally says, your opponent, can't draw cards, except for the draw phase. That's it. That's as easy as you're expecting to actually have to deal with out here. So you're sitting here, you're like, wait a minute. That's it, Robbie? Why in the world are we playing a level 4? Wait a minute. Level 4? Wait a minute. Why? That doesn't make any sense. So what in the world is possessed this card to suddenly come into play? So the first account that I have seen playing this out here has actually been none other than Ryzeal. Now, keep in mind that this is the rank 4 turbo deck. So you can stick this level 4 on the field, and guess what? Your opponent can't play the game. What do you mean by play the game? You know, the OCG has become this cesspool of draw cards. All right, it has become Maxi, and it has become Mulcharmy Haven. All right, like you have decks out here playing 3 Maxis, triple Mulcharmy, and then you have some builds that are going one step further out here that are playing Perillia in the deck. So Ryzeal out here just wants to kind of cruise on through its hand, you know, maybe get a couple extra deck summons out here, but those 3-4 summons from the hand, that's kind of where your problem starts to happen here. So how can we invalidate this? You know, what in the world kind of changes the flow for this? Well, that's where our friend Protector of the Sanctuary actually comes into play out here. You know, Protector gives you this ability to commit it onto the normal summon, and guess what? Your opponent can't play the game. Now, you're probably sitting here and you're like, wait a minute. Max C and all of the Mulcharmies are literally quick effects, Robbie. Yes, they are. You can use them at any time during your opponent's turn. That is, in fact, a very true statement, all right? You can shotgun that Max, you can shotgun that, Mulcharmy in your hand, but the minute I stick that Protector on the field, you have not only lost your mainstream advantage way here, you just can't anymore. Like that's the best part. And I think that's why I like the Protector so much out here, is because in the perfect scenario, if your opponent does open up like the Maxi or like the Mulcharmy, a lot of players would kind of agree, maybe the proper play is to hold these cards, hold them for when you attempt to do something, and then I can activate it and I can get this advantage. While normally that is true, you've also got the other side of the player base that goes, ooh, unga bunga, me drew hand trap. Me hand trap you now. What do? And it's like they'll throw down the Maxi, the Mulcharmies, stick them all together, and you've got the best thing in the world resolving there. But if you go draw phase, stick all of those effects on your opponent, going into the turn, and I normal summon the Protector, you're now down -3 cards, which now leaves you 2 resources in the hand to attempt to play the game. I think that we've entered a format, or at least the TCG will be heading into a format, where looking at Protector of the Sanctuary, especially, you do know we are expecting another Mulcharmy to be printed out here. While the TCG might not have Max C or any of this other stupid, insanity with this, you do have potentially upwards to 9 Mulcharmies coming into the game. And to the people out here that are looking at Mulcharmy as the Max C replacement and all of this, stupidity, I'm quitting the game, blah, 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 the sweetest nectar of crying tears I've ever seen on the internet out here because of this, boom, Protector of the Sanctuary. It's right in front of you. All right, if you are truly worried about this, in modern era Yu-Gi-Oh!, I mean, committing something like Protector to the field to play the game, sure. I mean, if your opponent, if you open up 3 Mulcharmies and an Imperm to shut off my Protector of the Sanctuary, that means you opened up 4 hand traps. Also means, yes, you can Valor the Protector too. Protector is not like a foolproof plan out here. This isn't something that is going to be able to, its plan is to drop it on the field, slow down the course of the game in your favor, and punish the people that are, shooting their shots on these effects way earlier. To be fair, though, you don't really have much of a reason not to, play a Mulcharmy effect, right away, to be honest with you. It's one of those things that you look at them and you're like, oh, you should hold your Mulcharmies. And it's like, I mean, if you're going to get Ash, you're going to get Ash. You're going to get cross-outed, you're going to get cross-outed. I can't, there's no reason to hold these things unless your opponent is just playing something that you just wasted a Mulcharmy on. Like, I don't know, for example, even in Runic you get a 1-for-1. Like, Labyrinth, I guess if you shoot a Mulcharmy in draw phase and you're like, haha, it's resolved. I mean, like, they're not really summoning from the extra deck. So, the Max C or the special summon from the extra deck gets no value whatsoever. So, okay. So, why is this all important? Why is Protector of the Sanctuary, why does this matter to the general player base right now with this? One, key knowledge and counterpoints and seeing cards exist when the TCG is heading down this pool of the 9 Mulcharmy hell, as we're going to call it, I think is kind of important to look at. Number 2, Protector of the Sanctuary has not had a printing since Champion Pack 5. So I wanted to bring this up for the people that do have these in bulk to go, hey, dig these out, have them for whatever counterplay of madness that you're expecting to see out here. I expect that this probably isn't going to catch on immediately. I don't expect Protector to be the counterpiece to the meta right now. No. I would expect maybe this time next year, depending on how many Mulcharmies we got floating around the format. God knows if Max C comes back into the format, with 12 potential hand traps. But having a card that you are able to play in the main deck to counter this, besides, the cross-out designator. The cool thing is you can actually save the cross-out now for something else. And that's actually kind of insane to think about out here. Being able to stick the Protector on the field and be able to kind of dance around it, see what other sublines of play that you can actually do is very, very tactically important. All right, you have to play around some of the stupidest things that your opponent is able to have, and just being able to do that is good. Also, Ryzeal, they don't care about their normal summon. They'll be like, oh, hey, anyway, send from extra deck, yay, all my monsters are on the field. What can you do? So, seeing Protector, 1,000 yen on OCG buy list for this for stores. I can only imagine the price that the stores are selling it for at this point if you're looking at this. And, it's rare to see tech choices that make such a splash on a meta. The fact that you have, and the Mulcharmy situation is going to be one that's going to be continuing to develop out here. To the OCG players that figured this out, or, I haven't seen any ramblings of Protector in the TCG at all. I'm sure somebody's talked about it. I'm sure. But from what I've seen, I have hardly seen any talk of this actually mattering or any real discussions of this. So now you're aware of Protector of the Sanctuary and the power that this has. I'll have the tournament breakdown for this later tonight so that you guys can see the turning point event. You can see the Ryzeal domination out here, and you can see, this hand trap stuff actually coming up. And to me, it's very interesting to see, how things are. And to the one person who's going to comment, the OCG meta is so much different than ours. You know, yeah, champ, you're going to really love getting Ryzeal punched in the face on every single chain link. It's going to be fun, right? Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.